Darkness, our ancient enemy. Foretold by many they came, as the war mind warned us they would. They were confronted with fire, and when that failed, met with intrigue among the bones of Io's last monument to the light. It promised us power, and for it, the price was paid. A lull holds the system, though it is not emptiness that gives us pause.
Artificial intelligence activated. It's worth knowing the cataclysmic damage you will be responsible for today. Do not fool yourselves. This facility is not simply the fruitless work of some pathetic scientist. This house was built by the genius Clovis Bray I himself. Within lies humanity's salvation. La Fontaine du Jouvence. Made possible by Clarity Control. Magnificent, wasn't it? An entity from beyond our own dimension. And the answer to humanity's eternal struggle. Mortality. Were it to fall into the wrong hands, humanity and the universe would be utterly doomed. I have no reason to believe you are anything other than the wrong hand. You now face godlike judgment. May it extend eternally.
Several months ago, a Cabal vessel bearing the name Glycon disappeared near the reef. This ship matches its description and heading. So far, our hails have gone unanswered, and the distress signal continues to loop. You're clear for live-fire engagements. Board it, and find our missing Guardian.
Not finished picking at Cabal bones?
Keitel? Have you no more officers to send in your place?
I've lived aboard these ships. I know their systems. You need me.
I expected you to be gone after the armistice.
This ship is Cabal. I have a duty to its crew while Callus remains free.
There's a distortion in the feed, no frequencies. Like ripples meeting in conversation. Executing trace. Stand by. I've sourced a distortion. There's an open patch into the ship's computer. Perhaps courtesy of our lost friend. The Glycon navigation system marks their destination as an anomaly left in the wake of Mars's disappearance. Those spores are harmonizing with the nearby concentration of darkness. Sarcophagus growths with cores of darkness. The material is organic. It reminds me of a certain flora kept by our silver-tongued drifter. Curious. The Cabal here, their minds hang suspended in the death throes of cognition, falling into a singularity. There's no light here. Scans of the anomaly they chased, left in Mars's wake. It's a part of the darkness, one piece of a larger web. Others align with our missing planets and moons, as well as many points beyond Sol's borders.
Callus's scribe identifies a voice in the darkness. One of their mother, of dead enemies, of Gaul. They say it spoke to Callus in his own voice, taught him how to commune. His counselors work to isolate and contact the entity that speaks.
your data mining yield anything about a crown?
Amsat detailed an ornate procession that brought a hive crown from Leviathan to Glykon. It allowed the darkness to invade the Scorn's thoughts.
Not the darkness. The entity.
The two are entwined. Does the difference matter?
That there is a difference makes our understanding of the darkness a facade. What do you presume they are? The crown, the entity?
Idols, sustained by fixation until there is nothing left to reap.
Guardian, I've pieced together another of Armsat's records. It reads, "A tragedy of silence. He tore the wilting failures apart himself. The connection is strong, but the darkness does not speak through them. An ocean without wind. Even the Lightbearer could not coax it to awaken." Keitel, it seems Callus has fled. Armsat states, "Emperor Callus has left us. His shadow broods." The legionaries spread rumors saying, "He merged with darkness. He is dead. He fights to save us." Words dipped in false confidence. The Emperor is gone. None know where. May we abide his return.
No, it is a trick. He is hiding here or elsewhere. He did not simply vanish. This array contains research logs. The entity's voice emanates from the grave of Mars. The Scorn babble to the void, and attentively await response. Our Emperor's vision is at hand. Tomorrow we pierce the anomaly's veil. We are ready. We have communed, and are adrift between worlds. It controls the lower decks, dragging the flame. Dead whispers in the walls. There is no way back.
Shall we be friends?
Scribe Armsat states, "The Emperor shows us we chase a mirage. The darkness is nothing but a great basin of formless thoughts. A vast tangle of composting chaos. Callus seeks the entity who speaks through the darkness."
The darkness is a primal force, wielded like the light. How simple.
Able to be brandished against Zivur Wrath?
And fall into the burrow of an ambush predator, like Umun, like Aramis. I think not. But tools can be broken, forces can be stopped, and those who wield them can be disarmed. Callus's surgeons experimented on the Scorn. Cranial dissections, dark ether drownings to engorge them.
Scions carved telepathic imprints into their brains, linked them together in shared consciousness. Their collective mind was then opened through an artifact, a crown of possession.
All to exploit their connection to the darkness. Had Callus seen Torobottle fall, as I did, would he have learned then?
Armsat kept notes on experiments as well. It seems that Scorn, exposed to the anomaly, all suffered contiguous neuron death. It consumed their minds. All but one who spoke with many dead voices. This survivor would become the centerpiece of their studies. This is an address from Callus to his crew. I chose Galrun, and his frailty betrayed us. He was too pure, too alone. Our new guests are neither. A glorious chain of dark minds, an open mouth for the one in the darkness, that it may sing in exaltation of my majesty. Greatness recognizes greatness. To invoke the attention of the end, our offer must be great. I believe I found a record of first contact with this voice. It says, I, Omsont, scribe of Glykon, rejoice. The scorn are one, rejoice. They bear the weight of the crown elegantly, rejoice. They whisper anticipations, rejoice. Our Emperor hears the voice of salvation, rejoice.
Sycophants, all of them, enabling his madness. What monstrosity is this?
The crown of sorrow. A hive artifact of devilish craftsmanship meant to subvert the wearer's will. I suspected it was the crown in question.
More hive witchcraft. It should be destroyed.
It has been altered from its original design. Opened. Instead of controlling minds, it's meant to merge them. It is listening. We cannot leave the crown free.
You think you can contain it? So did Callus. How long before your audacity damns the city, advisor?
Your warning is noted, Empress. But this is Vanguard's space. Will you ensure the crown is undisturbed while I make preparations for its recovery?
The Cabal are not at your disposal. Do so at your own peril.
I didn't think it was true. All that talk about the darkness. But it saw him. Something in there stared right back into Callus's hungry eyes. Then Aldrin's rotted tyke started shrieking, and I knew I shouldn't have come here.
I am Savathun, the Witch Queen, sister of shapes, deepest in the hive coven, etc., etc. My sister Zivor Arath hunts me on behalf of another. I wish only to be free, and Mara Sav has graciously agreed to help.
I know you have reservations about my arrangement with Savathun. I feel it in your heart. For all her clever machinations, the Witch Queen did not anticipate your success in stopping Quria or the Endless Night. Her schemes unravel, and now she needs my protection from Zivu Arath, from the Worm Gods, from you. I have already learned much by observation. The Taken pursued her here. Taken she once controlled. Taken that now serve a new master. Or, if Savathun is to be believed, their original master. Not her brother, Oryx, but something far older. She fears it.
The Taken presence here is overwhelming. With Quria defeated, I assumed Savathun would have lost control of them. But they seem just as organized, just as directed. By whose hand?
There are greater things in the dark than hive gods, Ikora. The Black Fleet's powers are vast. Oryx did not invent the Taken. He merely borrowed them.
You've done a lot of killing over the years. Let me ask you something. Of all the enemies you've fought, how many saw your ghost and realized, that's why Guardians are so strong? Not most, but some. They might have even taken a shot at it. R.I.P. Cade. Now, how many saw beyond your ghost? How many followed the line of your light straight back to the Traveler? And how many knew enough to aim a weapon there? A few. The smart ones, the dangerous ones. You'd recognize their names. Listen to me now. Look beyond me to my worm. Look beyond my worm to something far, far worse. Then look down at that little gun in your hand and tell me, what do you think you're going to do with that thing?
We awoken were born of light and dark. Our perspective on the universe is a complex one. The light is not inherently good, as your warlords of the Dark Age so clearly demonstrated. In spite of Zavala's preconceptions, darkness is not inherently evil. Some among you already discovered this on Europa. In my travels, I have seen true evil. It is the worm gods that the Hive serve. It is the Black Fleet, waiting to strike. It is the entity that commands them all. The voice in the darkness.
I've never seen the Taken, Scorn, and Hive coordinate like this before. It's troubling.
Taken, Scorn, the Hive, our true enemies aligned to a spearhead to halt our rescues of the Techians.
No mention of House Salvation or the Cabal?
House Salvation is in ruins. You saw to that. As for the Cabal, I am not worried about Empress Keitel. She and I will see eye to eye one day. But Callus...
I agree. Callus is a problem. We should discuss what the Vanguard found aboard the Glykon. In private.
I can barely feel them. My Techians. Lost between realms. But beyond that, in the background, there is something else. It is not Xivu Arath. It is not simple Hive madness. It is as though the space between the stars has been waiting. Watching. And it hates us.
There's something else out there, Guardian. An enemy yet to reveal itself.
The voice in the darkness.